Hello, everyone, and welcome back to 305 Insights. This episode is going to be Miguel's discussion of the week, where we dive into the Dolphins and their draft picks. What will they do with it? So, trying to stick with our hometown team, folks. We'll see how it goes. Once again, don't forget to like, subscribe, follow, do all that stuff on the socials. You already know where it's at: YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. Thanks for listening, folks. We'll see you on the next one.
Hello, everybody.
The Simpsons doctor.
Hello,
Dr. Nick or whatever.
Oh yeah, Dr. Nick.
The Simpsons.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back. I'm here to discuss with the fellas, just real briefly. Just gonna make this nice and quick, hopefully. We're gonna be talking about the Dolphins and the upcoming draft, April 25th. And the Dolphins have a draft pick in the first round, surprisingly enough, and it's gonna be coming in.
We didn't lose that one for messing around with Tom Brady.
It's gonna be coming in at number 21, and with this is probably one of the more exciting drafts upcoming, with how the teams in the NFL in this first round have come about with free agency, trading draft picks, players in the carousel moving around here and there. It's going to be very intriguing and an interesting draft, and in which these teams in the first round pick are going to be choosing, especially with the quarterback position. But we're going to be talking about more so on what our opinions are of the Dolphins draft pick at number 21, whether, the rumor mill of, so far they haven't signed Tua. Are they going to draft the quarterback at 21? Are they going to go the route of the offensive line? Are they going to go the route of defense, in which they have a couple key players in Chubb and Phillips not going to be probably playing the better half of the season? I don't know, Eric or Alan, whichever one you guys want to go first. I just want to hear your opinion on where you think the direction that you think they should go in terms of your own opinion, and where you think they're going to go in terms of Mike McDaniel's opinion. Because it's your own opinion and it's going to be what you think the Dolphins are going to be choosing, regardless of your own opinion.
I'll go first. No. I'm going to go first. I think
Eric's going to pick Michael Penix Jr.
I think they're going to offer Tua 1 year.
God, I'm going to figure out which way I'm going to post these, because Eric thinks they're going to draft Michael Penix with the first overall.
Did I send it to you, Alan, or did I send it to the chat?
You sent it to the chat that he
has the longest
70-yard,
the longest throw of Michael Penix. I sent it to the draft.
No, that
was Joe Milton.
That was Joe's.
That's Joe.
You sent me the thing on Instagram
but I sent
about
you...
what's his name, Danny Cannell, talking about
Penix.
Penix, yeah.
I like him.
But anyways, go ahead.
Go ahead, Alan. Go ahead.
Oh, you want me to go first? All right.
I already said my take.
So, Jesus, we're talking about the draft, not extensions. Unfortunately, I was hoping, when we talked about it a few weeks ago with the signings that the Dolphins have, that this would be an exciting draft pick, because it's always offensive lineman.
You sound pretty sad.
Austin Jackson here, and we're the highest center drafted ever was with us, with Pouncey. Like, that's the type of stuff we have to deal with in Miami. Like, the most boring draft possible. I think one way or another it's going to be on the line. It's either going to be defensive line, up the middle. It's going to be defense. We don't need a D end. I'm just talking about specifically defensive tackle, or we're going to get another offensive lineman. If you want specifics, I think if he's there, we'll probably get Mims from Georgia. I mean, Terrence Armstead's 33 years old. He's doing the year-by-year Brett Favre sort of thing, trying to calculate how much guaranteed money he has and how much he wants to leave behind. Mims is 6'7", 340 pounds. Mm-hmm. He's a physical freak of nature with how fast he can run, the length, the size, the speed. Like, that's the type of tackle that I think Mike McDaniels would love.
He ran a 5.7 6.07 in the combine.
Okay, let's repeat that. 6'7". Correct me if I'm wrong on the weight, but 6'7",
He's 6'8".
340.
6'8", 340.
340. I was wrong on the height. 6'8", 340. The man ran a 5-second 40.
Yeah, it's where I want my tackles to run.
That's insane.
Yeah, because we need speed from that.
But I'm talking about in a sense of the size.
Is he
of
catching
man.
the ball?
Yeah. Well, you know what? Maybe. Warren Sapp. Pogo stick. Either that, or I think they're going to go maybe Byron Murphy for the defensive tackle from Texas. I mean, to me, those are probably the most logical ones. Even though I think that Alabama kid has been popping up recently, JC.
Yeah,
I was going to say Statham, but I don't think that's his name.
Yeah, no, you're.
That's another
pretty
massive.
much on it.
That's another massive body that they have.
JC Latham.
Yeah,
he's comparable to Mims. He's 6'6", 342.
That's another huge, big guy. Like, again,
it's on the line.
It's going to be boring, but yeah, it's going to be one of those things because you lose Wilkins. You need an insurance policy for Terrence Armstead because he's going to be playing 9 games this year. Like, I think that's where they're going to go. I mean,
if it were you, because you're speaking in terms of where their options are on both sides. But if it were you,
you're Chris Gear.
Who would you choose?
Offensive lineman.
What player then, more specifically?
If he's there, Mims.
Okay.
Because he's not 100% ready, but Armstead's going to be starting next year.
And then with the second round pick, just going to throw it out there just for caca and giggles. But it's their second round pick. Do you think they go back to back in terms of offensive line or offensive purposes, or do you think they're going to flip the switch and go work on the defensive line?
I don't know if there's going to be enough value in the second round to get a defensive lineman because it's kind of later in the second round, I believe, right? It's not like in the beginning.
So their needs are offensive line, defensive line, and linebacker.
I mean, unless you get Cooper out of A&M, but I don't think he's falling out of the first round. He's like the only real linebacker that's available, the Texas A&M kid.
There's been some speculation that they are looking into the tight end from Georgia, Brock Bowers. Your thoughts on Dolphins looking into the behemoth of a 6'3", 243?
He's not falling to 21.
Not in terms of first round pick. I'm saying the later rounds.
He's not.
Whether it's second or
Bowers is going in the first round.
Oh.
He's not going to be. That's the problem. He's not going to fall past. If he's there at 21, there's no way you don't get him. I'm sorry. Like I know you.
In that situation, you're looking at best available.
So that's another question I want to ask. Like, it's always going to be best available no matter what position you're in need of when it comes to the Dolphins, or you disregard whatever player is there if he's there or not, and you're just going to go stick with the plan, stick with what you want the plan to be with the season going forward.
As higher the pick goes, it's more of a guaranteed of what you're going to get, right?
So best available.
That's going to be the best. Like first round is going to be best available. Obviously, this young gentleman that's from where's he from?
Georgia.
Georgia, yes.
Which one, the tackle or the tight end?
Bowers? Yeah,
Bowers.
Yeah.
If he gets to 21, it's a no-brainer. I think you have to go with it.
It's another weapon.
Yeah, it's another weapon. Hey, we'll go with it. Even though that we're not filling the needs that we have, that is a guaranteed. We can build off. This is another weapon that can help generate some points for us.
Okay.
So you're sacrificing.
This is the problem, though. Does it fit Mike McDaniel's?
Either way, if he's
at least we have a tight end for the future, but we've been struggling ever since we lost Gesicki.
But it's the system, though. Like,
no, I'm saying before the McDaniels.
Oh my God, I'm jumping back
because Gesicki was better, was a good tight end before McDaniels showed up.
But he didn't block.
So he didn't block.
We need a generational tight end. Look at these tight ends, T.J. Hawkinson. When you look at the league, you have.
I retract my previous statement. They would draft Bowers because Bowers can actually block.
Now,
yeah,
if more than likely he's not going to be there.
No,
right? I think you got to go defense. I think you get that defensive tackle.
Murphy.
Yeah,
that guy's a monster.
The reason why I think that is you replace the Christian Wilkins, And even though, our two edge rushers popped their Achilles, it's going to take time for them to come back. Imagine having both of them plus Zach Sealer and Ryan Murphy. Like,
he ran a 4.8 in the 40.
Dude, this kid's he's a big athlete.
But he's not really tall. He's only 6'1" almost, and 300 pounds.
He's almost one of those like nose tackles.
He's more of a nose tackle, but he's got some power, like speed to him that he can.
I think
the replacement of a Wilkins.
You have to go defense. I think you have to find some young, valuable talent on defense just because you're so sure of the offense. There's nothing that's going to make our offense better unless we're protecting Tua more, right? That's the only thing that we can value. Now, that being said, what we had this past season probably was one of the most successful O-line seasons of the Dolphins in a very long time.
But you lost a lot of that. You lost Hunt. You lost who was the one who had surgery? I can't remember his name right now. Supposedly he's lost like 90 pounds. I don't know if that's true or not.
Oh wow.
Connor Williams? Is that his name?
Connor Williams did get hurt.
So
yes, the point being is the way the offense is constructed and what the scheme looks like, Tua, the reason why Tua stayed clean is because of how fast he was releasing the ball.
He's a good Christian boy.
Okay.
What kind of clean are you talking about?
I had no idea what that. Here we go. But to answer Miguel's question, the route, if I was in that position, the route that I believe would be best is to build off the defense. It should be a defensive draft more than anything. If you are going to go with the first overall, I hope it's more defense-based than it would be offense. And in that sense, you already brought it up, Alan, but we're looking at the trenches. We're looking at what's on the line. I would prefer to go D-line with the talent that's there with Murphy, replace Christian Wilkins, and have a sure thing on that defensive line with a nice back-end help. Because those DBs that we have look very, very promising.
So I'm just going to cut you off right there for a second.
I'm cutting you off.
Anthony, because you're speaking about the defense and you want to go the route of defense. So our coordinator, our brand new defensive coordinator this year.
Thank God.
His scheme is probably good. Who knows? It might be based off of what the Baltimore ran, and they ran a 3-3-5 alignment, which means that they didn't stack the box at all, and they ran a too high shell, and they didn't blitz that much.
Makes sense.
So when you see that scheme, like, what do you like? Is it going to be beneficial to draft that defensive, or is it better off to draft offensive linemen and then flip the switching later rounds, go defense?
What's the drop off when Zach is out? That's the question that you have to ask. What's the drop off when both of your edge rushers are out, or one of your edge rushers out? Because when you run that means you're establishing the outsides. You got to get the outside containment, and then you have to also have a solid push in the interior, in the middle, to make the quarterback have an issue stepping up into the pocket or whatnot. Because we are transitioning into more of a passing league. If you look at their vision, you have Josh Allen, all passing. They don't run the ball. Then you have Aaron Rodgers, which Aaron Rodgers, you would think, hand it off, but they're gonna have an air-raided offense.
The second half of Buffalo, though, once they got rid of Dorsey and they put in Joe Brady, they did run the ball a little more.
They did. I mean, but you go from 0 to like 10. I get
what you're saying.
Yeah, there's an increase.
We never run the ball. We run the ball 15 times.
So, My God! Wow, we're running the ball.
Yeah.
But I do think that scheme.
I didn't know this, but in 2020, he was actually the coordinator for the Texans, and in that year, he was running a 4-3 scheme. So it's going to be very interesting to see, because in that scheme, the 4-3 scheme with Houston, he blitzed just the same amount percentage-wise that the Dolphins did this past year. So with all considered in terms of what he went with in Houston and what he was dealing with in Baltimore.
I
How-
think what makes it in.
It just
Sorry.
depends on personnel, right? At this point, like in
But
which
that-
route
that's
you
the
want to
weird
go.
That's
part.
the weird part because
Because
a lot
of-
of coaches don't want to go off of their personnel; they want to go off of their scheme.
But
Like Vic,
you're gonna but you're gonna have. I think the part that makes it weird is when is Chubb and when is Phillips going to be coming back?
Yeah.
Yep.
Because
Yep.
it's not like you're going to be like, all right, guys, we're going to run this 4-3 until the boys come back, and then
now we're gonna change
in
it.
game hypothetically 5.
Mm.
All right, now we're going to this too high shell. It's like, wait a minute, like. This isn't like, remember the Titans where we're going to do something in the middle of the game. It's going to work.
I believe that as of right now, we got to replace Christian Wilkins. You got to replace Howard, and we have question.
They replaced Howard with.
Oh, they did. They did
With Fuller.
With Fuller.
The only,
And he still hasn't gotten signed yet, which is very interesting, by the way.
I mean,
There's been some speculation that he comes back on Dolphin on a cheap deal.
I don't think he is. I mean,
If he hasn't found a job at a certain point of the year, then why not?
Hey guys.
because I don't think the Dolphins are going to pay him. Because you already have
I don't know.
Fuller.
The Dolphins
you
are.
have
They're probably
you have- what's his
reconstructing their
what's his-
payroll because
no,
of the draft.
Your boy that you brought up, what's his name? Cam. The cornerback that they drafted in the second round, or whatever. Cam Smith.
Cam Smith.
Like, they still have. They've got enough pieces as to where.
Yeah. No,
He's gonna
I
be-
take that back. I completely forgot about the
Cam
Fuller.
Smith, Nick Needham, Fuller,
Yeah. So there. I mean,
Kader Kohu.
and plus you have Jordan, and you have Snowman.
He should have
Javon
taken.
Holland.
He
Yeah,
should
you
have
have-
taken a pay cut. He should have.
You should.
And now, like,
Wait, so who said Cam Christensen was going to go to the Dolphins if you have Poyer and Holland?
no, it was some stupid.
Oh,
yeah,
mock
it was
draft.
a-
I was
a
like,
mock
what?
draft.
They're not going to
mock
go.
I just think like, but didn't we sign a defensive tackle as well? Like, I'm just saying, to me, there's more holes in the offensive line than there is with Christian Wilkins leaving. You cannot replace you can't replace Christian Wilkins, right?
Yeah.
But you lost Hunt. You lost, I think, Connor Williams if he's not coming back or whatever.
No, he's got that.
Like,
Like,
What D tackle did we sign?
We signed. Wasn't it from Tennessee, or was that the center from Tennessee?
no, it was a center.
I think you have your notes from the previous.
Yeah, I'm looking at it.
I
No,
swear
it
we
was
signed a
Anthony
defensive-
Walker, Barrett, Jonas Smith, Brooks. You're talking about Brooks, the linebacker, and that's it. You got a couple offensive linemen, and then, yeah, no defensive tackle.
No, I thought they signed one.
Hmm.
I think because
I don't know. You may be right. Eric.
what you're banking on is Terrence Armstead staying healthy. I don't think that's going to happen.
Yeah.
I think there's more. Here we go with the value thing. I think
Ooh.
there's more value in getting an offensive tackle in the first round, and then you can find a defensive tackle somewhere else. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not saying this guy's going to be because I don't think Brandon Fisk is going to be there. I don't want to be a homer and talk about FSU. Like, I don't think Brandon Fisk is going to be there in the second round where we're drafting. But someone like Fabian Lovett might be there in the latter draft rounds. And he is what you want in terms of the run stuffer. Like, I don't know if he's going to be available in the fifth round. I got to see what his draft grade is. But I think you can find more prospects that you can develop with defensive tackles as opposed to offensive tackles. Because it's kind of like what we talked about on one of the previous podcasts, where if you're drafting Mims or if you're drafting JC, like, that's a kid that you're going to have for the next 10 years. Like, obviously that's what you thought you were getting in Austin Jackson, but now he's playing at guard, so you're still extracting some value out of Austin. And you signed him to a 3 or 4 year extension, I believe, last year. So you're still getting value from him. I think that there's more to your point, Eric. You actually said it in your rebuttal to me. You kept Tua clean last year, and that was the best performing offensive line we've had in a while. And we're missing a lot of those pieces. We need to replenish it to keep your 1 year rental of Tua clean. So,
If you think they're going to go that route, they've been saying that they're looking into Jonah Ellis from Utah, the edge rusher, will fall into Dolphins for the second round.
but you don't need the.
We did sign Jonathan Harris from the Broncos.
The Broncos.
What's up with us with the Broncos? We have like
I don't know.
we just
I do think, to me, honestly, call me crazy, I think there's more intrigue in the second round pick than there is in the first round pick. Because again, if I'm not saying this is going to be like what they will do, but if Odell doesn't take the money, if OBJ doesn't take the money from us, I think they're going to go after a wide receiver in the second round. Because you need a third wide receiver.
I totally missed that.
The Odell thing?
Yeah, I did not even know about that.
I know he stopped by and there was an offer on the table or something like that, but I'm sure he's trying to shop around.
Give him $20 or something.
But I mean, if you can get Odell for like $6-7 million, the intrigue with him is his third down conversion rate. He did a lot of that in Baltimore, and it makes it less predictable with Tyreek Hill.
You want to ask yourself, who would you rather have, Odell or Braxton Berrios? No, I'm just kidding.
I mean, Braxton's not terrible, but like the problem is, like, what is Odell now? Like, he's not.
So I was reading the other day that the Dolphins should just go heavy on wide receiver, like, and draft a whole bunch of speed, first and second round.
I mean, they can't do first round. But that's what I'm saying. I thought there's.
I'm just like reading that. I was like, what?
But I thought I think there's to me there's more intrigue in the second round draft pick of this is a very deep wide receiver class. You can
Which
get.
is probably why they were saying that they should go heavy. Like,
you can
get just straight speed.
Well, then now we're going back into best value. Like, what's the best value?
Because you're not going to get a tackle or a defensive lineman in that second round pick that they have. That's going to be best available. That's why, to me, again, you can find a tackle later in the draft in terms of defensive tackle, or someone gets cut or whatever, different things like that, or a late signing. To get someone like a Mims or a JC early in the draft, and you have that cheap tackle, and then in the second round you can get, what pick is it? What pick early in the second round?
55th.
Mm-hmm. So it's like the 20th pick. Right, because they're 32
so
teams.
We're 21 and 55th, so it's 30 picks later.
So it's like the middle of the pack. Like, it's basically the same pick, right? 21 is basically the same pick. So, I mean, you're not going to get Keon Coleman's not falling that far. You might get that kid from Michigan,
and then they don't have a pick until a fifth round.
I do think they did a great job this offseason, though.
Yeah,
we talked about it before, that it was one of the better moves that they've had. Which it takes a lot more stress off the draft, as clearly what we're talking about right now, because there's not a lot of stress going into this draft.
No, because like you guys say, it's first round pick is going to be best available. Like, if somehow Brock Bowers is there,
you gotta go with him. You have to.
Or you trade and get like a third because like Miguel said, you got 1, 2, and then fifth. If you still, again, let's say how we kind of talked about, we're dead set on getting a tackle, whether it's defensive end or defensive tackle or offensive tackle, and Brock Bowers is there. Let someone call you and say, hey, we'll give you a second round pick to move up, or even a third round pick to move up. And they're like 3 picks behind you, and you can say, hey, we based off the numbers, we can still either get Byron Murphy or you got to get that extra pick, because you can't just go 1, 2, and then fifth. Like, if you go, hey, you want to move up 3, give us your second rounder. Okay. For Brock Bowers, we'll do that. And you get 2 second round picks. Like, I'm making this draft way more intriguing than it's actually going to be. The Dolphins are never going to do that. They're not even going to pick up the phone. They're going to send Mims. All right, let's go.
Okay, so based on this draft and where your guys' heads are at in terms of who we're going to go with and your own opinions. And now with that being said, based on the schedule that I'm going to read out loud to you guys, at the end of the draft, going to the preseason, and who knows if they'll get undrafted players or pick up somebody else. But from what we know from after the draft up until the season, this is what their schedule is going to be. Houston, at Indy, at Rams, here at Buffalo, here New England, here Jets, here Jacksonville, Tennessee, Arizona. This is all at home, by the way. San Fran, at New England, at Jets, at Seattle, at Buffalo, at Cleveland, at Green Bay, and then home in Vegas. Hearing that schedule, like, do you see the Dolphins having the same record as this past season, worse or better?
I mean,
Go.
Now I gotta pull up that schedule.
In hindsight, the schedule
How about this? Let's-
competitive.
Alan, mark it. You have the schedule there?
I do.
All right, let's go. Alan, mark it.
come on, Dan.
Let's mark it.
Go.
All right, first
I
game.
want it, Dan.
I love this.
I don't
I
know-
love doing this before the season
First
starts.
game. Go. Hurry.
First game, at Houston.
Win.
Oh,
That's a win.
it's Houston though, man.
It's a
Oh,
win.
it's a win. It's a win.
That's a win.
It's
I
a win.
think
It's a
that's a
win.
win.
I think it's a win.
W.
At Indy, we had to say W because
W.
Anthony Richardson has not proven
2-0.
At Rams. No,
That's a
At
win.
Rams.
That's a win.
Yeah, it's a win.
No, Aaron Donald.
That's a win.
Here at Buffalo.
Win.
Wait.
Win.
Here.
Miami.
Home
Win.
Buffalo.
Win. I'm taking a win.
New England.
Win.
Jesus Christ.
Oh my God.
The Jets.
That's an
Here.
That's an
Ooh.
L. That's an L. I'm sorry. In good faith, I cannot start us off 6-0. We're losing Buffalo or the Jets. We're losing one of those games.
I think we lose the Jets because it's in the beginning of the season. Everybody's healthy, but it will be a close game since it's at the home.
I think it depends whether Aaron Rodgers is going to play that game or not.
If Aaron Rodgers,
He doesn't play the game,
Aaron Rodgers is playing in that roster that we just talked about in the other episode,
Yes,
which
the
is
Dolphins
very
lose
good,
that
guys.
game.
You guys should tune into that one.
Don't forget to
Don't forget to smash.
If that roster, they're losing. They're losing that game.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. We were getting out of hand with WWW. That's like,
Jacksonville home. Home here Jacksonville.
We win it.
that's a win.
What?
Jacksonville's a win.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
After all this
They
talk
haven't-
about how they look on paper, they got a defense coming back this
proven,
year.
they
Like
haven't proven themselves.
Trevor Lawrence might be healthy going into the
Yeah.
season.
They
like,
lost Calvin Ridley. What other weapons do they have right now?
Christian
Kirk.
and Evan Ingram.
Okay, Christian Kirk is not a real weapon. That guy is like Marquise Brown's if you take out steroids. Now, if you inject someone with steroids, just take out the
They got
Christian
Gabe
Kirk
Davis.
is one of the most overpaid wide
They got
receivers,
Gabe
if
Davis.
not the most
What's
overpaid.
wrong with
wide
Gabe
receiver.
Davis?
There's nothing wrong with Gabe. I'm
Okay,
saying
he's a weapon.
I'm
Okay,
not
stop,
moving off
guys.
the Christian Kirk
Okay,
thing.
So you got to win. You got a loss for them.
It doesn't matter.
Okay, let's go.
Alright,
It's
go.
a 2 versus 3.
Majority
I
wins.
lose. Yeah. All right, next one.
Dolphins going like 13. And
Okay, this is hurting. It's gonna hurt me saying this because they lost to them. Tennessee.
they
They
face
win.
Tennessee again.
Yes.
That's
Win.
a win.
Yeah, we said that this
That's-
past season. They
That's a revenge game. It's a revenge game.
Eric's boy, Kyler Murray.
That's a win.
That's a win.
Jesus.
This is a loss. San Francisco.
Hell yeah, that's a loss.
Hell yeah!
New England.
Bro, that's a
Oh,
win.
that's a win.
At New England.
That's a win.
Oh, that's a win.
At Jets. You guys think they're gonna lose to the Jets
We're winning that
twice?
I think we win that one.
We're winning that one.
Shut up. You
We're
guys
winning.
are
They're all banged up.
You guys
We're
are
winning that one.
kooks. You guys are kooks, man. At Seattle.
That's a win.
That's a win.
My God.
At Seattle, though, that's pretty
That's a
rough.
That's
win.
but
rough,
That's a
man.
win. That's a win.
Is
At
Drew Lock the
Buffalo.
quarterback?
Pretty much what?
At Buffalo.
That's a loss.
That's a loss. Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
At Cleveland. That's a loss.
At Cleveland?
At Cleveland.
What kind of schedule do we have? What the hell?
This
win.
schedule is probably
I
not
think
in
that's a
order.
win.
The schedule's not in order.
That's a win.
That's a win.
I don't think Deshaun Watson's healthy.
At Green Bay.
That's a loss. If that's late in the season, that's a loss.
Yeah. And then home Vegas.
That's
That's
a
a
win.
win. Oh,
This is ridiculous.
13-4.
We're going 13. I told you. I jokingly said we're going 13-4.
You did say that the other day, huh?
Yeah, it's so stupid.
Well,
to his
I think-
cash in on that 1 year.
Okay, all honesty, we're doing the Kirk Cousins thing. In all honesty, I think the floor for this team should be 11 wins. The floor
The
The
floor.
floor.
should be 11 wins.
With the injuries to Chubb and Phillips.
He will lose to LaFleur.
I think
We got to see what order that comes out in. That's going to make a difference.
Yeah.
For right now,
speculation.
market,
Speculation.
pre-draft, we
13 and
think
4.
they're going to be 13-4, which is ridiculous.
All right, guys. Thank you. I'm handing it off to Alan to end this recording. And final thoughts, anybody? Go Dolphins.
Go Dolphins.
Hopefully
Tua's not signing for 1 year.
Hopefully Marlins get a win within a month.
Jesus Christ.
They all finished 0-6
By the time I'm
for
editing
today.
this, I think they're going to be 0-20.
Just guys, all listeners, please make sure not to just press that button. I want you to smash that button and make sure you subscribe to this channel. Thank you and have a good one.